I am Virginia McCoy. This is the first time I've had an interview like this. For the most part, I feel like I have become part of the history of the art in the community. The community is a rich one, and I'm very, very happy to be part of it. The paintings that you see on the wall here are fairly recent original work and some reproduction work that people can afford to take home and put on their walls and give to their kids. It's not easy to know where things begin around here. I mean, if you look at some of the images here, it is a bit puzzling. We're looking at a portrait of Frank and his dog George. This is my very first portrait of anybody, really, from a long time ago. We got to be friends, and now we're lovers. I was married when I went into work in systems to a graduate of computer sciences, and he was totally blown away that an arts major would qualify for the job that I qualified for at this major financial institute. And basically, I had knowledge of the institution, right? So I'd worked in insurance and finance for a number of years. It's no big leap to say that if you can grasp what's going on, then you've got a lot to give to the development of a business that is going to ultimately depend so much on the computer sciences. So that's end of story. But it wasn't fulfilling for me. And I'm sure you're aware that quite often when you're talking about middle management, the organizations bring in all kinds of psychologists to find out how it is that things are working out for you so that they can maximize your potential. And what happens sometimes is they lose the staff they thought to help, and I was one of those casualties, if you will. I realized in the discussions that it was not a happy place for me, and I had a friend who gave me access to a different kind of life, a different kind of community, and I took advantage of that and moved over to the East Coast.
And you're here ever since?
I'm here ever since. Well, what I found in the workshop that was given to me as a systems analyst was that I was still much more interested in images than I was in words and numbers and such. And I didn't really know what I was looking for, or what I meant by it, but I needed to be someplace to find that out. And as I said, given access to an area of Cape Breton, I succeeded in identifying what it was I wanted to be doing, and the fact that I also had a facility for it, as long as I didn't tie myself to what I thought was it, you know, what I thought was the art, what I thought was the tool, what I thought, and just I had time and all to explore that. It's succeeded in feeding me physically, emotionally, and spiritually. And currently I'm working on a small collection of bear imagery that I picked up because I needed to get to work, and I was pretty sure that if I played with bears I'd be working for a while, and so I am. There's an element of the human in them, the figure of the child. The bear is not just raising bears, it's raising people. The pleasure of working with color that way, of working with line that way, is something that I got from the storytelling. Every image relaxes a little bit more from the ultimate reality to the mythology of it, the relaxing of lines. on forms of realism. There's a set of 3 bear pictures that I expect to have off the easel in a couple of weeks. And that's going to get me back into the studio working and having a really good time.
Have you been away from your studio?
It just seems a lot of health issues have come up.
We don't have to talk about that. I'm more interested about the art, your inspiration.
I generally seem to work in collections. I concentrate on a particular theme for quite a length of time. The first one to actually come out and be shown was a selection called Becoming White, and basically they're family stories about growing up in Northern Ontario, about having a Ojibwe father and a war bride mother. Emotional, being emotional about it. The reason I took up the Becoming White collection is because it was where things turned. And as regards the work that I did and what it was going to consist of and what it was, what the form would be, what the form, it was no question that it was going to continue to be paint. It's just that the paint and the depiction of things was kind of took a major leap. The pictures of my family were seriously realistic, although they carried some mythology to them. And I think the stories were the mythology, because those are not just mine, they're stories that I got from my family members. And then still keeping the color and the strength of the line, I was able to move into more abstraction. Still looking for real, for meaningful objects, but taking them beyond the real, I guess. I am in Inverness. I live with a number of people that I love dearly. I've been embraced by much of the population here, certainly to a large extent by the working artists of the community, and allowed, if you will, to express myself the way I'm describing as reality, but not reality, taking strength and depicting weakness. It's just, nobody seems to find it offensive that I take such liberties with the shape and the color of things. Thank you for being here. I really hope you enjoyed the tour, and come anytime to 19 McCoy Street in Inverness.